Shauna Green here. Go ahead with questions when you guys are ready.
Shauna, signing day with when you came here, when you were interviewing, was it a conversation with Josh like I can stack classes like what you got going so far?
Actually, we didn't talk about that. You know, it was we have the confidence in kind of what we do and what we've always done, how we recruit, that we knew, you know, we felt like we could get top players to come here with obviously the university and the facilities here and the great academics that this school has. And then, you know, it just takes time to build that. So the relationships that we've established over the last couple of years, I think really showed through with this class. A lot of them that we've been recruiting, you know, since we got here. So just really proud of the class that we put together and grateful for our staff that, you know, really put so much time and effort, and you don't understand what goes into recruiting, and you only win a few of those recruiting battles, and you lose a lot. That's part of the game, but really happy with this class.
What do you feel like you guys accomplished with this class?
I think we got a little bit of everything that we needed. You know, obviously we needed a point guard, and to be able to get Destiny, a top 25 player, and also someone from Chicago to stay home. I think that's a huge, huge win. And I love how she plays. She's someone that, you know, guards like her have had success in our system and in our program. So, and then we had to get, you know, obviously we're losing Bryn and KB, so we had to address kind of that 3, 4, 5 spot and have multiple players that can do a variety of things and really versatile, which again we wanted to try to go for, and more length, just more size across the board. It's something that we really haven't had. So I think we filled a lot of needs in this class.
We've talked about this class with you for 2 years, right? Like how the foundation, you feel like kind of foundation you have to, the COVID core kind of moves on.
You know, I think that it's everyone has different philosophies, and a lot of people would have went just heavy transfer portal with this class, knowing that you're losing so much experience. We kind of went the other way. We went heavy high school of, you know, top players and really, you know, elite players that we think can make a difference and be here hopefully for their 4 years and build upon it. We're going to have a good mixture next year of youth and then key returners. And then with 1 or 2 scholarships still available, we can go out and address some needs with the transfer portal. But we went heavy high school, and I think that's what we've had success with through the years.
For the first 2 games, just where do you feel like the team that defensively? Do you feel like this is maybe the best they've looked for the first couple of seasons defensively?
Yeah, I think if you look back between, or you know, our last 2 years, I think this is probably it's come together a little bit quicker, but also they understand, right? It's a veteran team, so it should. You know, we've kind of picked up, I think, where we left off last year in terms of our defense, the intensity, and building lock into the things that we need to do, and also our rebounding. The offense always is something that takes a little bit longer, and you're going to have up and down games with that. Some games you're going to shoot it well, and in some games you're going to see what happened the other night, and let's hope that we don't see that very often. But really happy with our defenses. We just got to continue to be able to lock in and sustain the consistency piece. There's still some spurts where we get a little lackadaisical, and you know me, I'm never, you know, I want to try to be perfect with that and get 40 minutes, even though that's sometimes not possible, but we're going to continue to strive for that.
Speaking of offense, I mean, you just know how much attention Makira Cook gets. I mean, do you talk to her about anything about, or is it just you kind of let her play things out, or how does that kind of work with her?
I tell Makira to play her game and be her. I don't want her to overthink. I don't want her to press. You know, the last really week and a half, you know, I've just kept telling her, be you, do you. Play free. I think the more that she's, you know, kind of puts on herself, then the tighter she gets. So I just want her to be her. She's really, really good, and just play with freedom and confidence.
In terms of the signing class, how did the international marketplace of players open up for you in this class?
You know, we've looked at a lot of different international kids, and this was someone that I just really, you know, with Erica, I just really think her ability to shoot the ball is just a difference. You don't find people like that can shoot with that range, that consistency. And now it's going to be great because she's coming here early, so that'll be good. We can really see, okay, what she need to get better at. How much can she put the ball on the floor? What's her defense like? She's going to be able to practice for that whole semester and really learn from this group, which I think is just absolutely huge for her. But her ability to shoot with range is something, again, you just don't find a lot, so she's going to help us a lot.
To make any one prospect different or bigger than the others, but for you guys, the magnitude of keeping Destiny home and for Chicago, highly regardless, how important is that for you guys as a program?
I think it was absolutely huge. It's something, the first day, at my press conference, we need to try to recruit the state of Illinois and keep the best players home, and that's something that I don't think they've done in a while. So to be able to get someone like Destiny to stay and believe in our vision and want to come here and be the point guard for the future, I think it's a huge win for us in the recruiting battle, and I could not be more excited. It's also great because she is close, so she's able to come down here a lot. She was at her game the other day, and I think that's going to help her too, just be able to transition a little bit quicker, feeling more comfortable.
I'm sure you're going to go chasing rankings and stars, but this is a top 10 class, and maybe the highest ranked class here since 2008, I think. Does that mean anything for you and the program?
I think it's just about, obviously, you need players to win. So the better players you get, the better coaches we all look, and with that comes some rankings, right? We're going to go after top players that we feel fit what we do, and I think we addressed that and did that with this class. So, I think that's something we had to have. Really, if you look at replacing who we're losing, if you're not getting a top class, and I don't know how great we feel about the future. So I think we feel really confident in the level of players that we got here, the type of people that we got here in this class. And I'm not saying next year is going to be perfect because we're probably going to be one of the younger programs in the country, but I think that it's something that I know that we can grow and continue to improve, and the future is bright.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, because you mentioned you wanted to go this route as opposed to just the portal. Do you feel like, is this your style? Is it your philosophy? Do you feel like long-term dividends pay off this way better?
It's worked for us in the past. I'm not saying it's going to work always because the times have changed too. With, are you going to be able to keep people in your program 4 years if they're not playing what they think they should be playing? Who knows? I can't look. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't look into the future with that. But I know one thing: we've had the track record of bringing in players, developing them. They stay in our culture because we have relationships with them. We improve them as players, as people, and hopefully they want to continue to be a part of our program. And if you look at this next class and even next year, if you can keep that core group together for 4 years, I think we can do some really special things. Just like this group that came, we put together my first year. I think that there was ups and downs, but the more you're together and the more you build, the more, connected and confidence you get in one another and more trust, then you're able to do some special things down the line. So we'll always do a mixture. High school is going to be our number one, and then we'll address needs with the transfer portal.
You kind of touched on it earlier, but how big of an emphasis was that size at 3, 4, and 5, and it seems like you have guys and girls who play 3 to 4 to 4. Like, how important is that versus?
It was really important. And if you look at our league, it's just the top teams. You can, they're just long, and you want to build it. Okay, can you switch more? Can you do some different things defensively? We've always played 2 smaller point guards, and here in my previous school, and we've had success with that. But if we can get a little bigger, I'm always good with that. So I really like the versatility in all of our players. Obviously, Destiny's another small guard, but that's fine. Again, we've had success with that, and she's going to be great here. But definitely a key for us this class.
Did you show her videos of Makaira and said, "This is your blueprint"?
I think she saw enough of, Makaira and Jen, and there are a lot of similarities between her and Makaira if you watch them. And then obviously through the recruiting process when she's here, breaking down our style of play and being able to show, okay, this is you, and then, this is them. Like, it's almost like seamless if you look at her highlights and then some of, Makaira's highlights.
Are you still able to look at recruiting as puzzle pieces to here's how this person will fit with Gretchen Dolan and Barry Wallace and all those, or do you see it as just accumulation of talent every year?
I think there's a mixture of both, but I still believe that recruiting is a puzzle, and each piece has to fit the right way instead of just getting all the same pieces. They don't fit together. So when we put together this class, we always look at who can complement one another, and we know we have these people coming back. Okay, well, this will be great because this person can play this or that, or they can play with this person. So we're definitely always looking at the puzzle pieces and how they fit. I don't believe in, okay, let's go getting 5 people that are all the same. I just don't think that kind of creates that masterpiece that we're trying to build here.
We saw Barry out here, obviously very limited. Any update on her status or what you're anticipating, how long she might be out for?
Yeah, right now she's going to see the hand specialist tomorrow, and then we'll have a little bit better timeline. But obviously, you could see she's in a splint and has a hand injury right now, so it's going to be a little bit. I just don't know how long. So it's just unfortunate. These are the time where you want to get your freshmen a lot of minutes and a lot of experience, but. She's resilient. You see her out here working out. She's gonna have the best left hand in the country after this little break, and she'll be ready to roll when she gets back, no doubt.
So to be clear, it's not like you're rolling her out for the season or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not season ending. It's gonna be probably a little bit. Again, we'll know weeks after we see the doctor tomorrow, but a month or so, with that hand. But yeah, hopefully right when she gets back, she'll be ready to go.
You like about the idea of possibly a healthy Letty and Manuela 4 and 5? Like, it seems like you guys could really have a lot of size that we've not seen.
Yeah, that's a nice thing, right? When you think about, obviously, again, another unfortunate injury. We really thought Letty was going to be that person this year to be able to play a lot of minutes and help us, but that's the way life works, and it wasn't meant to be. So get her back healthy next year. Obviously, have 6'7", and Manuela's really, really tough and physical, but can also play a variety of positions. She can go inside, outside. So yeah, being able to kind of have them together, I think is really exciting to think about. Again, like you said, the puzzle pieces of, then you could have, Cece on the perimeter at 6'3", super long, with Gretchen, Jazz, some of these other guys. So there's a lot of great things to think about, but they're still going to be freshmen. And they're going to have a lot of learning curves to go through, but exciting.
In your mind, how do your Chicago guards next year fit together with Destiny and Jazz?
Yeah, I think they fit great, and I think Jazz, just the more she gets experience this year, the thing about Jazz is that, like, this year we're having her play point guard some, we're having her play 2, 3. She's very versatile. She can do a lot of things, and that's only going to help her going into next year when, hopefully she's off the ball more and we can really utilize a lot of different different things in her skill set, and we'll probably look for another guard that can do a lot of different things in the transfer portal as well. But no, Jasmine with a year under her belt is going to be huge, and she's going to be really able to take on a whole nother role next year, which is, again, it's very exciting.
We've talked about this before, but how did you guys go about bridging the gap between 5 seniors and now trotting out 5 freshmen next year? Like, what was the process in doing that?
With COVID, you just never know with classes anymore. This would never happen like 5 years ago, because it's so, you have 2 or 3, like you would never stack a class with 5 people that you'd have to go out and recruit 5 or 6, right? So it kind of just happened, and at that point you're like, okay, well, I'd rather have all these guys stick together and have them use their COVID year, and we'll figure out the recruiting class. But it was a lot of work to put together this class. It's just so much work and so much time, and they all kind of have their unique journey of their recruiting process, and some have been since we literally stepped on campus, and some have been a little bit shorter. But when you have to sign 5 and then you sign, they're all top 100 players, it takes a lot of whatever we have 4. I don't know how many. That's when it's bad, when I don't know how many we've signed, because we have so many. So.
In terms of tomorrow night, Shauna, I know because of the way you usually schedule, is there anything schematically that EIU does that you're looking to see, okay, I want to see how we do against this, because we're going to see it later on in the winter?
It's a good point, and I'm really excited because they have a really good post player. They have the OVC Player of the Year, and also the Defensive Player of the Year. She was like 2nd or 3rd in the country in double-doubles last year. So I think that's going to be really good, and she's able to put it on the floor, she's able to shoot it, she's able to score inside. So I think that's going to help us as we prepare, especially when we're smaller, against a really good big player. So we're going to do some different things, defensive-wise, just to get some work on that. And then they have a couple really good guards that are around her. So I think that's going to be really good for us.
You notice them do anything different with having a new coach and Matt leaving there?
Yeah. I tell you the truth, I haven't watched a ton from their last year because it's not even really worth it. So I've watched their games from this year, and again, they have some really good pieces, and I really am impressed with their post player. She's really good, and again, it's going to be good for us because we're going to have to do some different things, and she's a little bit different than the 2 post players that we've seen our first 2 games. So all these are great opportunities for us to prepare for Big Ten play, where you guys know we're going to see a lot of really good post players.